Hello, Tiddlywinks. Hello. I'm Kathy. Welcome to my channel, Kathy's Country Life. If you're a returning viewer, thank you. If you're new to my channel, thank you. We are going to, I'm going to make some potato soup. And I'm going to get some English muffin breakfast sandwiches ready for the upcoming week. So I just thought I would bring you along. I was making this anyway tonight, so I thought I would film it. I make my potato soup out of diced hash browns. I like it because it makes a chunkier soup. You can use shredded hash browns and it kind of makes a smoother potato soup, but I always buy the diced. Unless they're out of dice, then I'll get the shredded, but my preference is the diced hash browns. So I'm going to bring you over here to my pot and we're just going to get it all started and combined. Let's go. Okay, I'm going to add my first two ingredients right now, and I'm going to go ahead and turn my eye on, and I am going to do 2 quart jars of chicken stock. You can use the grocery store canned chicken stock. You can use the cartons of chicken stock. But I'm doing 2 quarts. Well, come on. Okay, and to my chicken stock, I am adding country gravy. There's a glare. This is the Pioneer country gravy mix. I think McCormick's makes one, but it's the white country gravy mix. This kind of thickens it up and gives it some flavor. So 1 whole envelope of that, and then I'm going to get my whisk and get that whisk in it. Okay, now we're going to add in hash browns. This is so easy. I mean, it's just like throw it in, heat it through, it's ready, and it's delicious. And this is totally optional. I bought this cubed ham. They didn't have the small package that I usually get. They only had this bigger package. And it is 20 ounces or 1 1/4 pounds. And what I did, which was about half of this package, was I measured out 2 cups of cubed ham. That is totally optional if you want meat in it, or you could cook bacon, crumble that up and put in it. You know, whatever you like. I just think ham and potatoes goes well together. And for the seasoning, let's do, I'm going to do about a teaspoon of salt. And I'm doing a teaspoon because it's potatoes, and you know how bland potatoes are in cooking, and soaks up the salts, and you just need more when you're cooking with potatoes, and I'm not sure why, but you do. And then this is just some ground pepper. I'm not measuring this, but 1/4 teaspoon maybe. You can also jazz this up with some, if you wanted to put some diced onion in it, some diced celery, green onions at the end. anything like that would be good in here, but we just kind of just like it plain like this. And it's not plain tasting, it's very good. Okay, and now I'm going to add some garlic powder. Measure this. Okay, I'm going to do a good helping teaspoon of the garlic, and we'll taste it closer to when it's done and see how that is tasting. Okay, and we will be adding some more ingredients the closer it gets to being done. So for now, oh, that's the wrong lid. So for now, I'm going to find the lid and we'll get a lid on it, so hang on. Found the lid. Okay, I've just put the lid on it. I'm going to bring this up to a boil, and then I'm going to turn it down and just let it simmer for a few minutes. Okay, so while that is coming up to a boil, I am going to start on making some breakfast sandwiches for the next few days, and I am going to be using the English muffins that you and I made a video or two ago. And we're going to do sausage, egg, and cheese muffins. I want to say McMuffins, but they're not McMuffins. I guess that could be, no, they couldn't. Okay, so I'm going to get the sausage prepared. This is Walker pork sausage. I don't know if this is just sold locally. It used to have an Alabama address, but now it is in Carrollton, Georgia. So this is real good. Okay, so we're going to be using this, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but when you buy, you know, 1 pound rolls of ground sausage, breakfast sausage in the grocery store now, you know, Jimmy Dean, you know, the mainstream sausages, they have hardly any fat in them. They are so dry when you're frying them up, and you lose a lot of flavor and a lot of juiciness out of your sausage by it being so dry, which doesn't make a lot of sense because the fat of the pig is cheap. You know, you don't, it's the actual meat that costs so much. So why they're leaving out the fat and giving you more lean meat in the sausage doesn't make sense. If anybody knows, let me know. So I have stopped buying that. And my favorite sausage was the green packaged Dean's. That's just what I have always fixed, but it's so dry. You have to add oil to your pan, and who wants to do that? So this is Walker's, and you can just tell it has a lot of fat deposits in it. And I'm going to tell y'all, and I shouldn't tell you because it's hard to get it now, and more people will be buying it, but Aldi's has got a good breakfast sausage. It is, I don't even know the name of it, if it's Aldi brand or what. They got 3 different kinds. They have, it's called a premium, a sage, and the other one might be hot. I'm thinking that it's not, it might be hot. I can't remember, but I just buy the regular. I think it says premium on the package. It's very good. It's got a good fat content to it. And I think it's like $2.69 or $2.89 a pound, which is really good. So when I find it, I'm going to stock up on it and just stick it in my freezer. because they don't have it. You can tell that it's a well-liked item at Aldi. So, if you live around me, don't run to an Aldi and buy it all up. But if you live, you know, if you live outside the state of Alabama, knock yourself out. So I'm just patting these out to start frying those. And I'm kind of making larger patties because, you know, they shrink up, and I want it to fit all in my English muffin. Okay, so we're going to get those going. I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 English muffins. I'm going to have 6 sausage patties. So we'll do 6 English muffins. Okay, I'm going to get these on the stove, check on the soup, and we'll be right back. Okay, this has come to a boil, and I've turned it down to medium-low. You just don't have to have this cooking for a long period of time. The Hashbrowns, they're pretty soft, but they're not like totally cooked because it's intended for you to cook them some more as hash browns. So you do need to give it a little, 15-minute cook to get them softened up. And over here I've got my sausage patties frying up. Alright, all total, this has been simmering for about 15 minutes. Now we're going to add the cheesy goodness. I've got an 8-ounce block of cream cheese that I'm going to add and let it just sit in there and start softening up. This is cream cheese that I had bought in bulk, and I just weighed it, measured out 8 ounces, and then did them in my vacuum sealer, an individual 8-ounce package. So that's like a block of cream cheese. Okay, I'm going to turn this down on just a slow simmer and put the top on, and I'm going to let that cream cheese get melty. I took that cream cheese straight out of the refrigerator, so you could have it out at room temperature and it would melt faster. Okay, it's looking good. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so the cream cheese, this has been sitting here heating through. You'll see some bigger chunks. Let me see if I can find one. If you see like a bigger chunk, I just kind of put it on the side and smoosh it with my spoon against the side. And they'll eventually all just break down. It'll just break down and you won't have these clumps of cream cheese in here. And this is getting close to being ready. This takes no time and it's so good. And mine, I don't know if you can tell on camera, it don't really show up as good on camera, but it's a darker broth in here, and that's just because I used my homemade canned chicken stock, and it was a darker color. If you use the grocery store, the kind in the carton or the can, your potato soup will have a lighter color to it that most people are used to seeing. And I have made this with store-bought broth 100 times too. I just happen to have stocked up on chicken stock and canned a whole bunch of it, or made my own and canned it. And it some I have that's lighter color, some is darker color. It's according to how much meat I had in there and the colors of the vegetables that I used. but this is a little bit darker, so it's kind of got a deep or a light brown, deep beige color to it. Okay, that's looking good. Okay, and then just to top it off, I'm going to use about 1 3/4 of a cup of cheddar cheese. You can use less cheese if you don't want it that cheesy, but we like cheese. And then we're just going to get this stirred in and let it melt. And basically, it's done. I'm going to put the top back on it. I'm going to keep it on my lowest setting, which is a between simmer and keep warm on here, and it's ready. Whenever we're ready to eat, we will eat it. So let's get started on the breakfast sandwiches. Okay, we're going to slice our English muffins in half. These are the ones that I made on a previous video, but of course you can use store-bought. I've done that a bunch of times too. These are just so delicious. Okay, let's go over there, and I am going to toast these on the stovetop in a skillet. And that's optional. You don't have to, but I think it brings more flavor to it. Okay, in here I put a pat of butter and have just been letting it by a pat. It was almost a tablespoon, not quite. And I'm just going to put these in here, cut side down. I think that's all I'm going to be able to fit. So we're just going to let these brown for a few minutes in the butter. Okay, so now we're going to do the eggs. I have this little fella, like a little bit of focus, little egg eye, silicone ring that I normally make my eggs in, but I was looking and the egg would hang off the English muffin a good bit, so I got out my biscuit cutter, and I think that this will do a better job. However, I am going to use this one too. Some is going to be overlapped, some of them is going to be perfect. Let me get... Okay, I'm just going to use some... Let me turn this down a little bit. And so I am... Let me get a bowl to put my shells in. So I'm going to give the pan a good olive oil, and then I'm also going to give my ring a good olive oil spray, and we will put an egg in. You can tell how the olive oil spray already turned real brown, so the skillet was too hot. But I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of salt on. I don't like using this because it's got this that kind of hinders my seasoning capabilities, but we'll make it work. And we're just going to let this cook until all the edges. And I usually will bust my yolk, but the yolk busted when it went in. And we got some spillage out here because I didn't make it over there to it before it started leaking. Once it gets set around the edges, you can take this off and it'll pretty much keep its form. I'll show you this one and then I'll do the rest of them off camera. I know you don't want to sit here watching me fry eggs. And when I take this one out, I'm going to wipe all this dirt. The pan was too hot, so I've got it turned down low, and I will clean all this up and start back with a clean pan. And now the temperature's lowered, the spray shouldn't burn. I'm getting it in that brown stuff. It's alright. It's kind of like your first pancake. It's always not a good one. Alright, I'm going to clean the pan and finish doing the eggs, and I'll be right back. And just to show you, this one's looking better. Okay, the eggs are done. I ended up throwing away that first one because it was too brown, and I just did up 6 some more, and so my doggies will get to eat that ugly looking egg. So I'm just going to assemble them. Very straightforward. Of course, I've lost all my matches, like what goes with what. So, but that's fine. I'm going to put a little bit of cheddar cheese on one. And these eggs are going to be a lot bigger than the English muffin, but that's okay. And then a piece of sausage. And then what do I do at the top? And the top. So, that's what it looks like. I will just continue on the assembly line to make 6 of these. And what I would normally do if I was making more than 6, I would freeze some of these, but this is enough for us for 3 days of breakfast, so there's no need in really freezing them. I'll just put them look how big that egg is, but that's okay. I got out of order, but that's okay too. So I'm just going to put these in the refrigerator. They'll heat up quicklier in the microwave. And it'll be delicious. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish up these. Okay, and I'm just going to wrap these up in some parchment paper. That way we can just throw them in the microwave. They'll heat up in the morning. here's my soup. And I like to put a dollop of sour cream on top. And you could, you know, sprinkle some more cheese on there if you want it pretty. And really for YouTube, I probably should style it better. But this is just us. I'm not trying to really impress. But anyway, this is going to be delicious. I hope you try it out. It's so easy. Seriously, I know this video is not going to be that long because I've been in here in the kitchen for an hour. I made a pot of potato and ham soup, and I made up 7 breakfast sandwiches. So it didn't take no time at all. The soup is so easy breezy, probably 20-25 minutes, and you're done. So, thanks for joining me again today. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. It would mean a lot. And thanks, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.